Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Ashley. I'm an exercise physiologist, and today we're going to be talking about microwave ovens. Microwave ovens were created in the 1940s. They weren't commonly used in households until the 1970s due to their high cost. It wasn't until the 1990s that 9 out of 10 people had a microwave oven in their home. Nowadays, people are kind of on the fence about them. You may have heard, people talk about microwaves or microwave ovens being bad for your health. So I'm here today to kind of clear some of the air on that and maybe give you a little bit of education on why microwaves might not be the best way to heat up your food. All right, so on this channel, we have talked about how high heat of foods, especially meats, so when you're cooking foods at high temperatures, PAHs can be created, and PAHs are polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons. These are substances that are known to cause bad things to happen in the body, such as cancer and the production of free radicals, of course. Okay, so high heating of foods in general is not recommended. Do we all do it? Of course, and maybe we don't even think about it. So remember to put your foods on lower heat when you're cooking them, and even if they have to cook longer, just try not to use that high heat. So what do microwaves do? Microwave ovens put high heat by this electromagnetic radiation. It produces high heat and friction so that the water in the foods actually causes the food to kind of merge and have friction, and the food is heated in that way. Okay, so there are a couple studies I'm going to talk to you about today. All right, so one of them has to do with acrylamide. I could be saying that wrong, but I'm going to put the study down below. Acrylamide is not something we want. So several studies within this study showed how using microwave ovens to heat food caused this substance, acrylamide, to be produced in very high amounts. So when we heat foods, you're going to get some production, but the microwave ovens tended to show a lot more formation of this substance. And basically, it's a neurotoxic and carcinogenic substance recently discovered, and it also has a potential to create cancer cells. It's carcinogenic, as I've mentioned. It can cause genetic mutations and also possibly damage chromosomes, okay? So you can look at that study below, but I'll read a little excerpt from it. It says, microwave heating of foods mainly occurs due to dipolar and ionic mechanisms. When food is placed in a microwave oven, various food ingredients behave differently. The main ingredient that enables food to be heated by microwaves is water. The higher the water content of the food, the faster the heating rate is. Except for water molecules, the polar particles of food ingredients are also subjected to intense electromagnetic field action, resulting in the polar molecule rotation. This extremely high rotation rate causes water molecules and the polar particles of food ingredients to collide with each other at a very fast rate. This creates friction between molecules and it generates heat. So the heat flows through the food by conduction, convection, and radiation, and therefore your food warms up. So if I didn't already summarize it, that is from the study, and that is actually what happens when you are microwaving foods. Now, microwaves, as I said, they're very common, and I like to tell people this all the time. Just because something is common doesn't mean that it's good, doesn't mean that it is healthy for you, okay? People think that, everybody's doing it, so I might as well do it too. This can be applied to many different things, but I want you to kind of think outside the box and think about things that could potentially be harmful. And it doesn't matter what everybody else is doing, right? Like what your parents told you when you were a kid. All that matters is the decision or decisions that you make for yourself and your family. All right, the second study was in 2022 based on microwave radiation and the brain. So first of all, microwaves have broad frequency can have a broad frequency spectrum ranging from 300 megahertz to 300 gigahertz. That may not mean anything to you, but basically within the light spectrum, microwaves are going to be outside of that. All right, interactions of RF, this is from the study, EMF with biological systems and possible mechanisms for inducing various effects. EMF, electromagnetic radiation, can pass through the membrane using a channel of the cell membrane, and signals that penetrate into the cell and produce ROSs, reactive oxygen species. Endogenous ROS can activate mitochondrial pathways and apoptosis through caspase 3. In addition, endogenous ROS caused by mitochondrial depolarization activates NF-κB, which causes inflammation. The receptor is one of the EMF pathways that activates the MAPK pathway and then activates target genes such as NF-κB and AP1 to activate cell death or cause inflammation. All those acronyms, you don't need to know all that, and I'm not trying to sound super smart. If you want to go down, you can read in the description below. I'll put the article. But basically, these are pathways to inflammation. Okay, these have been studied, and there's several studies within the study that show this. So what are we looking at here? Potential for cancer, potential for inflammation in the body. You know, PAH is obviously from the high heating of food. So microwaves are so common, but they're really, they have the potential to be really, really bad for our health. Okay, they can cause DNA damage over the long term. So you may not use a microwave all the time. Most people that I have talked to said they use their microwaves to heat their water for their coffee or their tea, to reheat leftovers for TV dinners or steaming vegetables, right? So you may use a microwave once in a while, or you may be someone who doesn't have an oven, someone who does not regularly cook and uses a microwave for everything. So wherever you are at, I want you to kind of think about using microwaves less, maybe taking it out of your house, and some alternatives to using microwaves. You can use a conventional oven. That's what I do. You just put whatever you want to heat up in the conventional oven, and you put it in like a little dish. It does take a little bit longer, and you probably want to, heat it over a longer period of time, like we talked about. But you can have a little snack if you're really hungry and you're waiting for your food. The air fryer has been really popular lately. I wouldn't use an air fryer all the time because it does tend to dry foods really quickly and can be really hot as well. But it's going to be a little better than the microwaves. And also good old-fashioned stovetop. So you can just put a pot on your stovetop. You can heat up your soup. You can heat up pasta. You can re-steam things. You don't have to use a microwave just because it's convenient. And that's kind of like where we're at in America. Everything is kind of fast and our way and right away. So kind of taking more time and care with our foods is really important. So if you're eating healthy foods, congratulations, that's really great, but try not to microwave that broccoli or, whatever healthy foods you're eating, because it may be taking the nutrients away from the food. So basically, microwaves are changing the chemical structure of foods and could potentially be making it harmful for our health. And this is going to be worse if we are using the microwaves more often, the microwave ovens, but really just using them in general, I would try to stay away from that. Other points of interest might be using tin foil to wrap your foods or to cover your foods. This is aluminum foil. There's studies on that show it could have potential harmful effects for the brain and for the cells as well. And also drinking out of plastic bottles. BPA-free bottles are definitely better, but I'm talking more specifically about the thin plastic. So when they transport the water, sometimes these cases of water get just held in trucks, and sometimes it can be really, really hot outside, and the plastics, the microplastics, I'm sure you've heard this before, tend to seep into the foods. And also, when you microwave foods in this very thin plastic as well, it can get into your food too. So it may not seem like it's doing anything bad, you know, in the acute setting. So you're like, oh, I microwave, I feel fine, everything's great. But we're talking about chronic use and chronic and exacerbated, excuse me, changes in the body as we continue to be exposed to these microwaves in general, and also, you know, the other things like the tinfoil and the microplastic. So we can only do the best that we can. We live in this fallen world, and you know, there's things that are out of our control, but with the things that are in our control, it could be really beneficial to try to control those things. And once you have a habit of not using a microwave, once you have a habit of bringing your water in a water container that's not made of plastic, and once you're in the habit of maybe using parchment paper to cover and heat your foods, or keep your foods protected in your lunchbox or whatever, it's really quite easy, okay? And you'll be doing great things for your health. All right, I'm going to link those research articles below so you can read them for yourself. Thanks so much for being here and wanting to learn about microwave ovens. And I hope you found this information interesting. Please like and share my video. You can comment. And also, if you'd like to donate to my channel, I have several links below where you can do just that. Thanks again, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.